As exam season approaches, you might be starting to feel a little bit nervous or stressed. That's okay. It's perfectly normal to feel this way. But there are some strategies you can use to try to manage these feelings more effectively, and we're going to explore a couple of them in this short video. We think it's important that you don't just learn strategies, but that you understand why these strategies work, because then you're more likely to trust them and use them again. Perhaps it's worth also just taking a few moments to consider how you can apply this approach about understanding the why to your revision as well, because maybe it'll just help more of the information to stick. I like to think of exams as being a bit like the TV programme MasterChef, and more specifically, the Market Test Challenge on MasterChef. So, the Market Test Challenge involves a group of keen home cooks being presented with a range of ingredients from fruits and vegetables to herbs and spices to meat and fish, and they're asked to come up with a dish within a short period of time, maybe an hour or two, based on a theme. So, the theme might be something that reminds me of my childhood or connecting with nature. These cooks are competing against each other to produce the best dishes, and when the time's up, their dishes are judged by professionals. So if we relate the Market Test Challenge to your exams, you're the keen cook, the judges are the examiners, the ingredients represent your subject knowledge, and the challenge itself represents the questions on the exam paper. Many of these amazing home cooks end up dropping freshly baked products on the floor, forgetting tried and tested recipes, messing up something they've practiced 100 times, or not finishing their dish in the time allowed. But some of them don't make these mistakes. The judges' feedback is excellent and they get through to the next round. So, what separates the cooks who have a disaster in the kitchen when they're put under pressure from those who manage to show off the best of their skills to the judges? All of the contestants were chosen for the programme because they've already demonstrated that they can cook, a bit like you working hard in your lessons throughout the year and following your teacher's advice when it comes to revision. So, how come some keep their cool during the challenge and some don't? One thing that helps us to keep calm under pressure is getting a good night's sleep. It might be tempting to pull an all-nighter and cram in as much last-minute revision as you can the night before an exam, but a lack of sleep can affect our memory, impair our logical reasoning skills, and stifle our creativity. Three things that we really rely on in exams. So it's no good sacrificing several hours of sleep for a bit of extra revision if we end up forgetting the information anyway because we're too tired or if our tired brains can't apply the information to an exam question. If you're struggling to sleep because your brain's overactive, which is perfectly understandable, particularly during exam season, you could download our Feeling Good Teens app from whichever app store you use. Just type in Feeling Good Teens and look for our logo, which you can see on the video now. Then you can enter the username chill and the password time to access the app for free. And choose the Sleep Better track and listen to it when you go to bed to help you sleep better. Teenagers need between 8 and 10 hours sleep each night, so if you're not getting this, you need to do something about it. As well as affecting the things I mentioned earlier, a lack of sleep can also make you more prone to illnesses, which you could really do without when you're preparing for exams. And it can also make you more stressed than usual, as if the exam period isn't stressful enough already. Another strategy that you can try if you're feeling stressed is breathing. Being told to take a deep breath when you're feeling stressed might feel like something that's said so often and so automatically that you no longer really think about what those words mean. So let's take a few moments to think it through now. You've got exams coming up. You're feeling anxious and panicky. So what does that look like in your body? Sweaty palms? Erratic movements? Quick, shallow breaths? A loud, fast pulse? We've got two nervous systems in our bodies, and when you're feeling like I've just described, it's because the one that speeds up the heart and prepares the body for action, the sympathetic nervous system, has kicked in. The nervous system is triggered by a threat. In this case, the threat is an exam that's making you feel nervous. But if you were around during the Stone Age, the threat might have been a predator like a lion or a tiger, or a fear about where your next meal was coming from. You want to get rid of this feeling in your body because it's making you feel awful. So someone tells you to take a deep breath. You're not being asked to just breathe as normal, like you do every day without thinking, in, out, done. You're being asked to focus on this task, putting aside all other tasks and thoughts, and just to concentrate on this one thing, taking a breath. And not just any breath, a deep breath. Breathing in for longer than normal, holding it, breathing out for longer than normal. The breath out should be at least as long as, if not longer than, the breath in. And then take another. In for 3. Hold it. Out for 3 or slightly longer. What happens in your body as you carry on doing this? What happens to your heart rate and your breathing? What happens to your movements? The deep breaths have triggered our other nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting feelings of calm and safety. So our body starts to relax. We start to feel better. We're not panicking anymore. All of a sudden, the words "take a deep breath" mean so much more than the throwaway comments we've heard someone say on a film, or maybe we vaguely remember them being uttered in our own lives. But now we're paying attention to them. We're doing what's being asked of us. Take a deep breath before you walk into the exam hall. Take a deep breath before you open your exam paper. Take a deep breath before you start the first question and feel yourself become more relaxed. A calmer mind enables you to concentrate better, so those challenging exam questions will be easier to manage and the information that you stored in your brain during lessons and revision will be easier to retain. Here are some breathing exercises that you might find helpful both during the exam period and at other times in your life when you're feeling stressed or anxious. You can practice them now or make a note of them for the future. The first one's belly breathing. So place your hand on your tummy, take in a breath, count 1, 2, 3. It's as if you're blowing up a balloon in your tummy, and feel your hand rising against your stomach as you're breathing in. Hold it for 1 count, then breathe out. Count 1, 2, 3, so that your hand sinks down. Pause for a count of 1. Repeat this exercise for 3 or more breaths. Hand squeezing exercise. Repeat the belly breathing exercise, but this time, squeeze your left hand as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, relax your hand. So squeeze your left hand, take in a breath, count 1, 2, 3 seconds. Hold for a count of 1 second. Breathe out, count 1, 2, 3 seconds, and simultaneously relax your hand. Pause for a count of 1 second, and continue this slow breathing for 3 more breaths. We've all been where you are now, and we all remember those feelings of stress and worry. Just remember that these feelings are normal. In fact, it's good to feel a bit stressed before an exam because, as we talked about earlier, stimulating the sympathetic nervous system gets us ready for action. For example, it gets us ready to take an exam. But to bring about some balance so that we can manage the stress we feel, we need to know how to kickstart the parasympathetic nervous system as well, supported by some regular, good quality sleep.